2. Go back to yesterday, day 1 video for the Sabot Jr Invitational, and you'll notice the flags are a completely different direction. This is west-northwest. A lot of people think this is north. And so San Diego gets a little confusing. A lot of people think the entrance to the ocean is pointing west, but that's actually straight south right there, 180. Anyhow, northwest, northwest. That's going to mean that, and this is just training for regattas in your future. That means over here there's going to be streaky wind with big holes. Over there is going to be more wind because it's not coming over land. So this is just like when I send you to Miami, man. We get a west wind, northwest wind. This is more like a northwest wind. Wait till you sail a northwest in Miami. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. The streakiest, hardest to decide when to tack. Little bit of a luck game where you happen to be, but the best news is here's our team out here practicing all together. They set up their own races and practicing with each other. Adventure sailing. Race 1 on Sunday, race 5 for the regatta. They got 3 races today. With Sabot fleets, we don't do a ton of races like Perry Series last week. We did 8 races over 2 days in LA. And on Saturday we got in at 6:30. And on Sunday we got in at 4:30. And that's a pretty long day when you got to drive back to San Francisco or San Diego. But Sabots were a little more gentle. 7 races only on these. Usually maybe 8. There's a sea lion bopping up, trying to start. A fleet, race 1 on Sunday. Red boat had a great start. Starboard is lifted. The flags are showing same direction, north-northwest. Red boat got a great start. She should foot off now and roll the green boat and try to get bow forward on 7938 because it's a lift. She wants to be footing. Oh, is she gonna make it? What a tack. Oh, darn. She got in a real pickle there. She wasn't laying the gate. That's what happened a lot to people yesterday, is just things that as we get better, we see earlier and we respond to them earlier. This looks good. A fleet, this is where you get good, right here. How tight 103.89 is. You see how you have to be able to steer right on a knife's edge. Leading edge of his main is very flat. Leech is pretty hooked, actually. Not hooked, but maybe not twisted quite enough. That would just be more Cunningham would help twist that off a little. 7432 did a great job here. She tacked again. Oh, Sea Lion. Sea Lion's racing the 8 leaders right now. Big righty going on right now. Big puff ahead. I know my videos are so long. I gotta cut it. God, the Sea Lion just literally jumped out of the water as she tacked. Like the Sea Lion leaped out her, and I missed it. That was unbelievable. Where is he? Oh my God, that was unbelievable. She tacked, and he flew up out of the water. I think she's gained a little. Oh, flags are going left though. Flags have gone, that could be a little bit my angle. I'm a little bit on the left side of the course, but I don't think we're gonna see roundhouse lifts coming here. Where's the mark? Oh, it's over there. Holy smoke, is it gonna get light up there? Race 1 on Sunday for the B fleet. SDYC Junior Invitational. We got like 15 29ers happening out there on the other side of the North Island Naval Air Base over there. Pretty young fleet. A lot of under 16s out there. Oh, Sea Lion. He came back down to start with this fleet, I guess. There he is. Gonna pop up right there. Lorelei right at the boat. Oh, these guys are in trouble. In this much wind, you got to get on the rail to get the boat going. And these guys, you can tell their sails aren't quite as good. Nice job, Jack. Nice job. See, Jack could have yelled starboard at that guy, and that guy would have tacked right in front of him and bucked him. Jack's like close to winning the regatta. He is on the wrong tack. I mean, right now. Remember the lefty we talked about? That just rolled down the course. Now these guys are lifted, lifted, lifted. Watch this guy. 9504 is going to come back on a big lift. Jack is coming out here on a header. Now I have hundreds of pages of notes to write a tactics book, so tactics are complicated, but the number one rule is if everybody else is on port tack upwind and you're on starboard, only to do that to get to more wind or to get a lane. But he came out okay. He did lose a little, but you see how 9504 is now pointed higher on starboard than Jack was after the start, and Lorelei pointed higher. So Jack should have gone out about 5 boat lengths, rolled onto port tack, and got on the lifted tack. The only good news here, see, this 9504 is setting himself up perfectly. Every boat is on starboard in the A fleet, so that means a lefty. The wind's coming from over here. So 9504 is lifted right now. He should be going VMG, VMG, just like Lorelei, 8577, and as they get headed, roll into it. Lorelei learned yesterday not to go right under the other fleets, so she's just going to go protect a little bit. Oh, Steven winning. Wow. Steven. It's actually very good racing. Exiting, the exit angle is parallel to the gates on starboard, so this right buoy is way further upwind. I mean, this one right here. Looking downwind, that's the right gate. A lot of people communicate about that differently. Here is the C1s. They're obviously not the A fleet. Remember the A fleet with less than a minute? They were there, and this fleet's there. They should get going. Like, they could speed up and just pinch and hit the line. Just speed up, get flow, pinch as you're going along, so sail purposely high. They're going to be all late, except for 9690. Oh yeah, 9567 with the reef sail. Laszlo, 7696, great start. He starts the day off strong. He had 2 bullets yesterday, and then it just, you know, it's like the Energizer Bunny. They run out of power after a while. Oh, it's gnarly up here, race 1. So we've got to figure out the current up here. You know, when you don't have a coach, you'd have to do this on your own. You got to look at the water as you go around. It looks like the water's going right to left to me. And then these kids are all coming up here, getting stuck in really light air. You can't tell now, but the B fleet had no wind when they got up here, like streaky big holes. So you have to look at the buoy as you go around it. It looks like she's getting sucked into it. Definitely getting sucked into it. So you got to go longer on port tack than you think you should. Wow. Oh yeah, they're just getting sucked into it. So that's what made the B fleet so hard. They did like 4 tacks in the last 8 seconds because you think you're making the mark, you tack. Go off to the edge here of the race course and look, you can see me ripping. Look at the rings over there. Rings over on that side, swirling on this side, swirling right down in here, so the water's right in my face here. So what that means is at the top of the course they actually have to ease their Cunninghams, ease their outhauls, ease their bangs a little, and keep watching the wind. And they also have to sit closer to the main sheet block in the light spots as they get up. See, the top of the course is fine now for C1s. But man, the B fleet, it was just boats zigzagging, tack. When kids get nervous, they start tacking back and forth. Not a great video. Yeah, Vesper was over, 7634. 10286. So that's the A fleet starting through there. You can see how clean they are, all of them right up on the line. Ronan 388, he's a small guy with a big boy sail. It's Sunday, we only have 3 races today. So with Ronan 10388, we're working on feathering a little more. Hiking 80%, feathering 20%. See how good he is at hiking, but the problem is the leadboard stalls, it's not like a laser or a 420 where you can really, or a normal boat, that you can really hammer on the boat and the board can take the load. A leadboard stalls at about, when you're going 3.5, 4 knots and heeling, it'll start to stall out because it just gets too much load on it. It gets a lot of drag, and then it's being pushed sideways so hard. So you feather the boat to keep flow on the boards. You see how how much he has to ease the vane to maintain control with that sail. That's the big boy sail. So that's the sail for people that are. But the problem is, Sabot Nationals, you're not allowed to measure 2 sails. So I have smaller people learn how to sail with the sail they're going to use when they're 100 months. I just have them learn it now, especially if they're a resilient kid. Okay. 7634 was over early, and I think she's right back in the race. Last weekend we had her in 420s in LA. We had 103.89. He was racing 420s. He had 2 top 10 finishes on the first day, age 12. That's the Dave Perry series. So that's the best sailors in California, all racing 46 boats in Los Angeles last week. So their primary boats for those 2 are some Sabots and 420s. Gary Cronin is killing it. The right usually pays in righties, right days, northwest days like this. The hard part with that is you get big holes. B Fleet race 2 on Sunday. Jack 101.16 won that race. He was, so that might, with a throwout, that puts him in first place in the regatta. 7577 Lorelei. Oh, this is a little too risky on a short line. I like it. Oh my God, another grandparent video. Oh my God, that's what we call grandparent videos, because that's the type of video. I got to send him one from yesterday, but that one was even better. And she's lifted too, so now she just looks at the water up here and tries to find the way that she can double this lead. One thing to always remember, if you're good enough to get ahead, you're good enough to gain more. Don't start sailing super defensively at this age and covering and doing all this stuff. There's times to cover, but right now you're just working on VMG, like full speed, sailing smart, pointing towards the mark, sailing the boat at its maximum speed, and avoiding conflict. It looks now you'd look up there at the A Fleet and they look pretty good going into the mark. So it looks like B Fleet's got okay deal going on right here. Fenton. Oh, that's somebody else winning. Wow. Or no, is that Fenton? I think that's Fenton. No? No? Somebody else is winning a race. Cool. It looks light. Look at the boat that's tacking on the right up there. That looks light over there, so the leader should be working away from that. You've got to be thinking downwind about what's smart. What's smart is to not go to their left, to my right now, because we saw boats over there not moving, and the wind moves down the course, so there's no wind moving down the course there. So the green boat is doing perfectly, staying slightly on the high side, but not too high. And then this is, wow, look at the righty. This is the biggest right wind shift of the day. Look at Jack. He is, oh my goodness gracious. Awesome. That is just awesome. 1 minute to the start. Again, no one's really standing up in their boats like we've asked them to do. But oh, postponement. Yeah, they had to postpone because of their fleet. There we go. Right now, as you're coming into the gates, it looks like they're headed on port, so I'm probably going to this gate, and there's a puff right there. See, these are all the things you're looking. There's a puff right there, so you know you're going to be hiking soon. Wow, look at how far these guys got wind, and the people behind. Here's Ronan on the inside. Okay, good job by Theo. Oh, she's headed on port, so Theo might be winning already. This is a massive righty, absolute massive righty. Theo's probably winning already. Minute 30 for C1s, and the wind looks like everybody's on starboard, coming downwind. Vesper in the red boat looks headed there. So the answer right now is, what's the wind shift? I don't know exactly. And then these guys should be looking at that. It's windy, so 101.53 is very smart. No I flag, and she's pushing it right up there because you can always drift back a little. But she's got to keep her main sheet in your hand. You always got to keep the main sheet in, because if you want to get moving forward a little, you got to trim fast and then let it back out again. 10069 is too far back. You should trim a little and pinch, sail extra high. Parker 10275, good job. Good job. A really good starter would have a line sight over here on the shore. They would line up on the window or something, and it would start 4 feet off the line, half a boat length off the line at full speed. Brendan 10145 got totally screwed in the last start, sorry. And got totally hit by a boat to windward and spun into attack. Beautiful. All clear, all clear. Parker Heim, that was just a grandparent start right there, grandparent video. Look, Brendan 10145, Clara 10153, Hudson 8946. We're working with Hudson on the same thing as the other small guys, is a tiny bit of feathering in the biggest of puffs. Because the problem is they get heeled over, the leeboard stalls, and it just doesn't work. Look at her, Clara Stewart. Oh God. Oh, look at that puff. Biggest puff of the day. Holy smokes, man. Clara Hannah winning the B fleet. Yes, 103.96, winning the B fleet. Yes. What a rounding. Trimmed quickly, but not too quickly. Now she would actually be considering tacking. No, there's wind ahead. There's wind ahead too. So port tack's pretty good right now. She should keep going. Less than a minute to go, A fleet. This is the C1 fleet coming down in race 2. Clara Stewart winning this race. Laszlo second, Hudson third. I can't tell the wind shift right now. I'm looking at the flags. It does not look left on the flags. You see the flags up in there? 30 seconds to go. Really plowed of 7634. She started over by half a boat length in the last race. Downwind, she passed like 4 boats and got a 4th. So this is a tight regatta. 103.89's winning. 7938 dropped back a little. And then Steven 102.08. Could you imagine being under 12 and under, and start a sailboat like that? That's what's good about the Naples Sabot. You got to know how to get the boat. You got to know how to get flow over your boards. It's a small lift going into a big header. We should be footing right here. These guys should be footing. 7634 red boat again, just a nice clean starter. Here comes Clara Stewart in the C1's gonna win this race. So we're working with Celeste on the thing that a lot of people, oh, she's gonna come out really good here. Holy smoke, she's gonna come out really good. Look at that puff she's in. But what we're working with her on is moving the tiller a fraction left. Oh, it's a header though. Oh, please be a lift. But the thing about a Naples Sabot is once it's up to speed, you got to keep the windward telltale moving just a little. You can't foot off from there. Oh, look at that. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Nice, finally. It's just a bummer that it's a header. It's a lot of wind though. Look at that. She's doing it. 1 minute 30, she stood up, looked. At 1 minute, stand up, look. Right now what you're seeing is A fleet has plenty of wind, so by the time the start happens, you're gonna probably be on the rail, hiking 3/4, maybe half. Third place is gonna come down to Theo has to put a boat between him and Steven to get third. 1 minute to go. This is what we call adventure sailing. PDA fleet. It must be a lefty, so the pin's probably favored. That could just be more pressure, and everybody's staying on starboard. Oh, if she'd have slowed down, she'd have done it again.